Have you ever heard like a recording of a con man calling up an old person's house, and the con man, he's not making much sense. He's talking really fast, and he's saying a lot of BS, telling a lot of lies, and the old person is trying to keep up, and they you could tell that they're a better person, but they just can't connect the dots and see. They can kind of tell something's up, but they can't quite see. You could hear it in their voices. I feel like that's what I listened to last night. That's what I saw on TV. It's like the old man versus the con man. I've been saying this for years now. It's been 4 years, and I've been saying this, and now everyone's like, "Oh, we didn't know." Like this is what's so maddening. People are like, "Oh, this is I never heard this. I couldn't imagine." I've been saying this. I'm like Cassandra in Greek mythology. She had the curse of seeing things into the future, but no, she had the blessing that she could see into the future, but she had the curse that no one would listen. That's how I feel. I feel like I keep telling people, man, this ain't good. You have a person who's a felon versus a person who's probably a good guy, mostly these days. I mean, you could say that in the old days he might have said some shitty regrets, but if he's been in some kind of public office for, I don't know, 150 years, something like that. 150 years, I think he's been a politician. This guy's Methuselah. It's holy shit time, man. I've been saying this, but you know what? I've also been saying that this is America, and you never know what will happen next when it comes to politics. We do crazy stuff all the time. You never know. We could be tearing it all down tomorrow. We might not have a democracy by the end of this, or maybe someone finally does what I've been saying we should do for, I don't know, 2 years now. Uh, Joe Biden, have a coming to Jesus talk with him. Instead of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we have Ruth Bader Biden. Let him know, hey man, it's been a good run. You're 80. No one should be working past the age of 80. Neither of these guys. Trump will be 83, I think, if he gets elected. When he's done, he'll be 83. He's 3 years younger than Biden. It's a fast decline. My grandfather was 83 when he died, and let me tell you, it wasn't pretty. He didn't know where he was. He was very confused when he died, and I I couldn't believe it that this strong, towering man that I knew, this proud man, is now laid low by old age. It happened like this. It could happen to any of us. It will happen to most of us. But most of us aren't going to be running for president or working at all, hopefully. I hope I'm not working at 80, man. You shouldn't be driving an Uber at 80. You should be doing nothing at 80. Just chill. Just chill. Enjoy. Enjoy what you got left. Chill out. Watch some Matlock. I don't know. Like, you could be the ring giver. You could be chilling in the background, being puppet master, hanging out with all the big wig, hanging out with that, like the former president's parties. I know you guys throw orgies. Just have a former president party orgy. Chill. Chill. Just chill. My God. My God, man. And this right after I watch an anti-Semitic transitional vegan, intersectional vegan. I don't know what we're calling them anymore. I watched this. She's called Veganica, but she might as well be called Vegan Swastika. She was on George Martin's channel last night. It's like, am I watching the world fall apart? Am I Cassandra? She could see that there's going to be a volcano erupting. It's going to kill us all, but no one will listen. Ah, ha, 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 Cassandra. Oh, Cassandra. Aren't you a clever one? Aren't you funny? What's the average life expectancy in the U.S.? It's like 73.5 or something. It's like 70. I call it 75 years old. It's like 75 years old for the average life expectancy. Average, though, when you're rich and you have access to good medicine, you might make it to 86. He'll make it to 86. He might make it to 96. That has nothing to do with anything, right? I mean, should you be a president at 86 years old? We need anyone who's like, 50 something. That's who should be cleaning the floor with both of these guys. They're both confused old men. One just happens to be who's got enough evil coursing through his veins. He's got enough bully blood left in him. He'll push through. The other guy's a doddering nice guy who's been who's seen his one son die in the last, I don't know, when did his son die? One son died because of Iraq, and the other son died is the other son is being has just been convicted of felonies. That's a lot of stress on a normal a normal man. He's also got the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's the bastion of democracy, the last one standing between us and a dystopian hellscape. Yet there's a lot going on. Being the guy who's standing between the world and Trump, and being the guy whose son just died not very long ago, and his second son is well, we've got pictures of his penis and from his laptop, and he's a crack smoker, and he just got not indicted but convicted of gun crimes. This is yeah, that's a lot of stress on a guy. Maybe he's fine. He's just got a lot of stress going on. But hey, you know what? It's time to go. It's time to go. Yeah. Like you have a minimum age and a maximum age also. Maybe, I mean, not everyone's the problem with the maximum age. I don't know, man. Maybe in 100 years, 86 will be fine. 86 today ain't fine. I hope by the time I'm 86, I'm walking around. I got an uncle. He's like 96. He's doing fine. He's pretty sharp and everything. He's a little more into Jesus than I'd like, but you know what I mean. He's like, he's 96. I think he's doing fine. I got another aunt. She's like 95, or she maybe even older. She's almost 100. Sharp. They're not running for president. They're not running for president, though. Last night was so sad and cringe for them, all of us. Yes, exactly. We need term limits in Congress. 100%. We need term limits on the Supreme Court. Half of our problems that we have today, we wouldn't have if we had term limits on Supreme Court justices. Half of our problems facing us right now, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg was ousted, it works for both. It works for both. You get good Supreme Court justices, get them out and give them a long time. Give them 15 years. What do I care? Give them 20. Get them out. These 40 people staying in a position for 40 years. Back when they made this Constitution, people were living to be 40 years old. They're not living to be 150 like they are now. But the limit can change in 100 years. Maybe we can. It's hard to change stuff in America. That's the problem. It's hard to change the Constitution. It's quite difficult. Some older people have sharp minds. I think Joe Biden probably does have a sharp mind. That doesn't mean that he can successfully tell that story to the American people and the rest of the world. He could be sharp. He could be sharp as a razor blade. You wouldn't know it by watching him last night because he choked. That's part of the game. Sucks, but that is part of the game. You have the showman and the no man. Maybe I guarantee you that I guarantee you that Biden knows more than Trump. Biden's smarter than Trump. But it doesn't matter. None of that matters. None of it matters. God damn it. God damn it. Well, if you've never heard a person on the phone being exploited and conned by a person who's calling in and trying to get their social security number and all their money, that's what the debate sounded like to me last night. Was a geriatric person being swindled by a slightly less geriatric person. Yeah. Biden has way more Einkin-Artig. He has more than most humans on planet Earth. He has more than almost everybody. More than everybody. The president must be able to complete American Ninja Warrior. Sure. I don't know. I mean, if we could, I think we should have a disabled president. You know what? We'll if he wins, we'll have our first disabled president since Roosevelt. Since FDR, we'll have our first disabled president. What a depressing thing. Well, smoke them if you got them, because this is the end, my friends. This is the end. There are very sharp young people, and still there's a minimum. It's the same logic. On average, people's cognitive abilities decline as they get older. Fair enough, Vegan Power Lab. You're absolutely right. 35, I think 35 is a good minimum age. You don't want some YouTube, you don't want Mr. Beast being president at 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? But you could 35, give Mr. Beast a chance. Maybe Mr. Beast wants. So what's he doing? Is he 35? Let's call him up, see if he wants to be president. Mr. Beast, hey, you want to be president? Oh, you're making another Squid Game video? Okay, never mind. Sorry to bother you. Have fun making another Squid Game video. That's real productive. Thank you very much. Mr. Beast says no. He says no thanks. He says no thanks. He's making another Squid Game video. He wants everyone to see. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't like politics whose only work experience is politics. Politicians, maybe you're right. I don't know, man. I think that's another good reason, Jordy, why we should have term limits. Career politicians. I mean, you need some people who kind of know where the bodies are buried and know how everything works, but they shouldn't be holding elected office. They should go back into being bureaucrats. Like, how amazing would he be maybe as like secretary for the UN or secretary of state or secretary of greeters at Walmart. He could be a greeter at Walmart. Actually, the greeters at Walmart are not friendly old people anymore. I've been going to Walmart. They used to be just a friendly old person, so old that they can't do anything except for just going, hello, have a good day. That's what they would do. Now I don't know who's doing it. I don't know who they put, how do they determine whose job the greeter position get? How do they get that? Mr. Beast is on banana. Yeah, Mr. Beast. Well, ever since I've had that fallout with God, it's been a little hard. Yeah, ever since God gave the Australians the right to determine who's sentient and who's not, I've been very, very upset, and so it's difficult now. I can basically reach out to Mr. Beast whenever I want. Secretary of UN would be good for him. He's quite diplomatic. There you go. Perfect. I could think of all sorts of stuff for him to be. He could be. I don't know. He could be the dude who sits around like Henry Kissinger and help out, be like I don't know, DNC liaison shit. I don't know. He could, if he still wants to stay in the game. But why would you? You're 80, bro. Chill, leave, be cool, have fun. Go surfing, man. Anything. Do anything else. Please do anything. Just, if you're 80, by the way, this is not about ageism. If you're 80 something, chill. Bro, no one should work like that. No one. I don't care what job you have. 80, go ahead, retire. You're welcome. Jesus, in France, they just had a friggin' street war over having to retire at 64 instead of 62. Here we're like, we'll keep working till we're 86. Why? Either of these gentlemen, neither of them. God damn it. In the debate, at some point, they stopped calling him former President Trump and they started calling him President Trump. Did anyone else catch on to that? They started calling him former President Trump and President Biden. By the end, they were calling him President Trump. He's not the president. Mr. Trump. He's not the president right now. You don't call him President Obama. You call him Mr. That's what you call him because he's no longer president. I'm sorry. Hopefully, God damn it. I don't want to call God and ask him for favors, her for favors. But damn it. This is the end. It's over. Can I also say one more thing about one more thing? I'll probably be talking about this until I die now. But did anybody else watch it and they're like, if Biden had just gone vegan, maybe he wouldn't, maybe he'd have all of his cognitive abilities. If he, maybe he should have gone vegan. And then I started thinking, like, what if he had been vegan for the last 2 weeks? Could he have like a game changers type of thing where his blood's better and is flowing more to his brain? Like, if in Game Changers they have that whole scene where those, I think they're football players, some kind of athletes. I think they're football players, and they go to sleep and they put the Girthatron 3000 on their tallywhackers, and it measures their involuntary erections at night. And the people who were on vegan diets or plant-based diets, they had more frequent and larger, let's say, engorgements during their nocturnal journey. And you could assume that if blood flow is going downstairs better on a plant-based diet, maybe it's going upstairs better too. And that was only after like a week of being on a plant-based diet, right? Could one expect similar results in an older person? What if in the preparation towards this debate, quote unquote debate, could you have put him on a totally plant-based diet and therefore gotten him a better given him a better chance? He could have made it a little bit better for himself because he'd be a little bit quicker on the draw with a plant-based diet. What do you think? What do you think, VFF? Would that have worked? Or if Joe Biden had been on a plant-based diet for, say, I don't know, the last 65 years, would he still have been so fumbling, mumbling, and dumbling? Could it have been different? Because I was sad for him, man. I don't even like him as a politician, and I felt bad for him. Could we? Every meal matters. Keep it plant based. Josh Banks thinks so. Do you think that maybe his cognitive decline would either be less pronounced or less evident if he had just been more plant based over his life? He's done. We all see it. How on earth is the most powerful position run by someone who doesn't even know where he is? Because the guy he's up against doesn't know what the truth. He doesn't know the difference between a lie and the truth. That's why. The only reason he's up there is because Donald Trump is so nefarious. Nefarious? The brain doesn't work like other organs. Neurons don't reproduce. It doesn't matter about reproduction. It matters about blood flow to the brain. A lot of what happens when people start declining is because there's no blood going up there. They have arteriosclerosis in their necks, and then the blood doesn't get up into their head. It doesn't have to be just neurons dying. Maybe if he'd done some Wim Hof breathing before he started, he would have had the required brain. That'd be good. Ginseng, man. I heard ginseng does wonders for the old thinker upstairs. Why not that? I'm astonished how they could let him run. They're only letting him run. What? Because switching mechanical bulls, switching race cars mid-race, it's very difficult to do. It often spells failure. I think him running again was the biggest mistake. I've been saying this. I thought he was done. He should have had a V8. He should have had a V8. Should have had a V8. That's the best way to end this. He should have had a V8. God damn it. But did anybody while watching it, did they have that thought? I know it's horrible, but like I was thinking, man, if this guy were vegan, he might be okay. Everything would be okay. Maybe it would have been all right. The first moment Biden spoke on it, I was depressed because I knew it was over. I've never seen him that bad, and of course, it had to happen at the one and literally only debate. Yep. The first thing, I was listening in the car, and I was like, no. I started shouting. I was like, no, no. That was how I knew democracy was over. We had a good run. The American experiment was. It was good. Some good times, some bad times. Not for everybody, but maybe we need to Maybe we need to call it. Let's call it. Should have had a V8. What's a V8? A V8. It's a type of engine that puts the pistons in a V formation or to fit it into a smaller engine compartment, but still getting more horsepower and torque. It's also the name of a vegetable juice drink called V8. It's kind of high in sodium, but it's really good for you. I think that if he was vegan from a younger age, yeah, he probably would have been better. I think so too, Vegan Power Lab. Did you think that while you were watching it? I thought that while I was watching it, then I immediately kind of felt bad. Yeah. I felt a little bad. I'm like, that's not a nice thing to think about somebody. Man, they should have gone vegan so that they wouldn't look so doddering. Yes. Did I say horsepower? I meant to say man foot pound power. I don't know. What's the vegan word for horsepower? Mm. It's got 8 different vegetables. Vegetable 8. I didn't watch, but now I want to watch it. If you watch on double speed, Biden doesn't sound so bad. Just putting you out there. Maybe that'll save democracy. Maybe enough people will watch the debate on double speed, and he won't sound so bad. But I watched the first half on normal speed, and then I watched the second half on double speed, and it was train wreck. This is it. He probably would have performed better if it was 1978. Holy shit, if it was 1978, of course he would have performed better. Both of them would have performed better. I heard that Donald Trump even might have had a conscience back then. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? I want to mention today, just very briefly, if you haven't already, please go sign the foie gras. I put this in the community tab. Please sign the foie gras out of the Olympics. The Olympics has decided they want to put foie gras on the hospitality menu. Holy shit, foie gras. This is what gavage looks like, gavage, where they take a funnel and they beer bong food and disgusting stuff down the face of a goose until their liver is 10 times the size it's supposed to be, and then they cut their liver out and they sell it. It's called diseased liver foie gras. That's what foie gras means. It means diseased liver or just fatty liver. But fatty liver, that's a disease. It's diseased liver. Yeah. So please sign it. Can people outside the U.S.? Yeah, it's for the Olympics. So I'm 90. I think so. I hope so. I think you can. Yeah, I think you can. Please sign it. We also have in news before we play the theme song, Biden's debate performance spurs Democratic panic about his ability to lead the party against Trump. There you go. To lead the party against Trump. There you go. Everyone's saying that. Look at the photo. It's him in silhouette. I mean, there's so many other things that I wish I could talk. So at the end of the debate, the gentlemen did not shake hands. They did not say anything. They despise one another. But Trump stormed off the stage in the end, and Jill came out to see her husband. Melania wasn't there. Melania wasn't at the debate. Melania didn't show up. Like normally what happens is they shake hands and then the first ladies come out and they wave at the crowd, but there is no crowd. But she still came out and she hugged her husband and then they shook hands with the moderators. Not Trump. Trump didn't shake hands with the moderators. He left like a little complaining bitch. He's like, and he stormed off like a child. That was another thing that I wish we should be. That's what we should be talking about, but we can't talk about that because, fuck me, man. Trump literally said that everybody wanted abortion rights to be removed. Everybody wanted it. That's what he said, and I did it. Everybody wanted it, and I did it. That's what he said. He literally said that that he wouldn't accept the election results. He spoke very highly of Trump of Trump all the time. He only talks highly of Trump. He talks horribly about America. America is the worst country ever, according to Donald Trump. And but Putin and Kim Jong Un are wonderful. Yeah, exactly. You signed BigBirdsDead.com. Thank you. What do I look up? Just go to my community tab on YouTube. It's linked to there. I didn't see the betas. I was watching soccer. Sounds like Bolivia had a better performance than Biden, just by losing 5-0 to Uruguay. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't think either of them did well, but the problem is Biden is supposed to be the one standing up for democracy, like an existential threat against our country. I bet there'll be more no one votes than last time. That's what they're saying. There will be a lot more of no one votes. Such a strange trolley problem, says Bible Dumb. Yeah, it is a strange trolley problem, isn't it? Indeed. I think this doesn't save lives, just switch the victims, just that saving geese further objectifies fishes, pigs, and chickens. It's not really about saving lives, really. It's about holding people accountable for their actions and saying that we don't approve. Yeah, gotta do something. You gotta do something. Did you notice in between the questions they had to let Joe know they were moving to the next question? Yes, they were generous, weren't they? They were kind of generous to him. I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that they were like, "Okay, Mr. President." Yeah, the whole thing seemed like, why did they agree? Why did they agree knowing this? What an embarrassment. If he thinks only people that agree with him are everybody, then I fear that he thinks about the people who disagree with him. Yeah, he wants what he thinks about the people who disagree with him. Because everybody wants what Donald Trump wants. Everybody, the people who don't agree with Donald Trump, they're animals. He called them a rat's nest. He calls immigrants rats. Do you know who called immigrants rats? By the way, rats are great. You gotta love rats. But when humans start calling other humans rats, it's usually not good. He literally started bitching about golf, saying that he wants to be he won 2 golf games and that he's so great and that he's a much better golfer than Biden. I'm a much better golfer. What? Are we Is that what America is? Listening to the debate now is 2 old men bitching about golf scores. That's what it devolved into. And then Trump's like, let's not behave like children. And Biden's like, you are a child. I agree with both statements, except Trump's the one that brought up golf. Why am I listening to old white people complain about golf? Golf, if I were running a golf business right now, I'd be terrified because they made golf. Golf is the real loser last night. Golf. Biden said he couldn't hit it. No, he said that Biden couldn't hit a golf ball 50 yards. Yeah, like, I don't even know why would I care who can hit a golf ball 50 yards? Like, Franklin Delano Roosevelt beat the Nazis. He couldn't hit a golf ball at all. 0 yards. 0 yards. He could not hit a golf ball. Yes, if he were vegan, then then being animals wouldn't mean anything since we understand intrinsic value. Indeed. Why aren't Beto, AOC, and Newsom putting their best malarkey out there? Newsom is. Newsom, I watched an interview with him. He backed up the president. He said, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. They're all scrambling. I mean, they're not going to roll over on the guy. Beto can't win an election. AOC isn't old enough. So I don't think AOC is old enough. Let me see. How old is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? How old is she? She's 34 years old. She's not old enough. She needs 1 more year and she can run. So there you go. That's all you got. That's all you got. Golf. A yard is zero point 0.9 meters. Yeah, I know what a yard is. Yeah, she's 1 year too young, but AOC couldn't win. What are you guys dreaming? Are you fucking are you dreaming? Are you out of your minds? AOC couldn't win. She could barely win in New York. Why do you think AOC? I would love for Gavin Newsom to run, but even that's a long shot. He's from California. Well, he could do it. He could do it. He could do it. Biden said Trump has the morals of an alley cat. Yeah, I like that. That was pretty funny. He has the morals of an alley cat, man. he has the he has the morals of an alley cat. And what was with the cough? He was coughing through the whole thing. Oh my god, man. He's coughing and he's raspy. He sounds like he's gonna die. Beto can't even beat Ted Cruz. I know. Beto's a joke. He can't even beat Ted Cruz. Thank you. The moderators asked about their health, and Trump says he's sharp. He plays golf, and Biden said he was a good golfer or some shit. It was hilarious. I say they have golf for president. Yeah, golf off. Let's do a golf off. What the fuck? Why am I listening to these two dumbasses talk about golf? Golf? Once again, I keep saying we need young people with new ideas. New ideas. I'm sick of these old 50s fucks. I'm sick of these old 50s fucks. I thought that after Trump was done, we would have the last time with another white guy telling me about how great it was in the 50s. I don't care what it was like in the 50s. I heard it wasn't great for blacks, gays, women, most people that weren't heterosexual white males. But hey, you know what? I like those old 50s movies too. What are you going to do? They made some good stuff, I suppose. There was peace and prosperity in America. But you know what? 50s, don't care what it was like, bro, when you were a kid. I don't care what it was like when they were making when we were at war in Korea and Happy Days like was being formed in someone's mind. When the Fonz was out there going like, hey, I don't care what the world, like, why, I don't want to go back to that. We're going to go back to the 50s, folks. I don't want to hear any more about the 50s. I don't want to know about the 50s anymore. I don't want guys who think the 50s were the best and we need to go back to that. I don't want anything to do with it, man. I want to look toward the future, like how the fuck we're going to do anything about, climate change. She had to ask 3 times Donald Trump, what are we going to do to slow climate change? And he just made up some crazy shit about the Paris Accord and how it's costing us trillions of dollars and no one's doing their fair share. America has to do everything. Wham, 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 wham. The guy is a climate change denier. He's a Holocaust denier. He's a con man. He's a fraud. Literally convicted of fraud. And here we are. God damn it. I don't know how you guys are having... I think Biden is in charge of the internet at these hotels. It's all lagging anyway. That's it. What do we need? What else do I need to even look at? Is there any animal news? Did anything else happen yet? Oh my God. Judge stops parents' effort to collect $50 million from Alex Jones. Owes for saying Newton's shooting was hoax. What the hell? I can't even fucking process that right now. Ukraine is battling to preserve democratic progress during wartime. It's not easy. Yeah, I can imagine. During war, it's difficult. We stuck with George W. Bush just because we were in the middle of a bullshit, unjust war. That's what happened. It's hard. Who is General Zuniga? This is something that I was reading about yesterday. The shadowy officer behind the thwarted coup in Bolivia. Yeah, Bolivia. They're having a hard time. They can't decide what they're gonna do. They're having coups. We got the whole problem down in the South America right now. Who's gonna lead this country? Iran votes in snap poll for new president after hardliner's death and rising tension in Mideast. Oh God, we're all going to World War III. Okay. Oklahoma State superintendent orders schools to teach the Bible in grades 5 through 12. We're turning into Yemen, or we're the ones turning into we're going to be Hezbollah. That's what it's going to be like, if all these pro Hamas protesters and everything, we're going to turn ourselves into Christo-fascist state. I mean, why not? Let's fit in with everybody else. Let's be a religious hellscape. What do you say? Make sure you study your Bibles, everybody. There's going to be a quiz later, and if you can't pass it, they're going to chop off your head. 5 missiles land near ship in the Red Sea. Likely the latest attack by Yemen's Houthi rebels. Yeah, Yemen's got the Houthis. The Lebanese got the Hezbollah. Nothing's looking good. It's just not looking good for anybody. All right, that's it. That's the news. Let's look at some vegan stuff, huh? I'm sad about the world and the state we're in. Thank you so much for being here, vegans. Will Trump topple democracy because it seems so sadly? He doesn't need to topple it. He'll destroy it from the inside. Don't you realize that the Tea Party and the MAGA Republicans, they don't like it? They will tear it down from the inside. It's like getting a job for I don't know, protecting the hens, but you're a fox in the hen house. You're a fox in the hen house. I saw a real chicken truck yesterday on my drive back to Texas. Looked exactly like my fake one. Absolutely shocking. Yeah, Bible Dumb Podcast. It's horrific to see. We've got Holocaust trucks going down this interstate already. Wait till they put people in them. That's next. Always know that the second, every time I see that with chicken trucks and cow and pig trucks going down the interstate, I realize that we are just one tiny step away from putting humans in those box cars. One step. Who do you think will bring us closer to that? Don't be sad. Sky is sham. Politics are a sham anyway. Yeah, except it's never been this bad. You're as old as I am, aren't you? You remember when it wasn't like this. Anyway, let's move on. It's not so hard to not abuse animals.
It's so hard to not abuse animals.
Colonies can fuck themselves. Go fuck themselves.
This is a show for vegans.